I'm intrigued by another thing, and again, I ask you as an expert. I don't want a political answer. There appears to be a row at the top of the Conservative Party, as it were, the free marketeers who don't want to tell you and me how to control our consumption of energy because it's all about choice, freedom, etc., etc. And others who say, look, it might be quite sensible to bang out a few ads saying, use the washing machine at night rather than at peak time during the day. Don't forget to turn off your telly at the wall at night because we'll save a bit. My question is that word bit. Is that a significant contribution to help us get through the winter?
Well, I think one of the useful bits of advice would be telling people what uses electricity and what doesn't around the home. For example, using the kettle uses a huge amount of power, and it would be good advice to suggest if we're in one of those periods of the day when there might be a shortage, if you can avoid making a cup of tea at that time, that's a good thing. On the other hand, things like the television use very, very little energy. And I think just simple...
Oh, so the unplug overnight really is neither here nor there.
It's all worth doing, but there are some things which you would do first, as in anything in life, the things that save the most energy. The washing machine is another very good example. And also pointing out to people, which is not, I think, very widely discussed, is the point you were making earlier about this lack of storage, which means that sometimes during the day, and on a winter night it's round sort of tea time, we're using vast amounts of electricity and we may not have enough power stations or fuel to deal with it. Leave it for 4 or 5 hours till the middle of the night and we're using much, much, much less. And so there's much less of a risk if you can move things there. And I personally don't see anything wrong at all with government working in partnership with people saying, this is a problem for you. I mean, the price mechanism is doing this already to a considerable extent. Yeah. Because we're paying so much more, we're being much more careful, and that's a good thing. But for government to come out and say to people, we're not telling you what to do, but if you are interested in saving energy, and who isn't, then these are some hints that we think might be very useful.
Well, one of my wife's great mantras is as well with the kettle thing, because I agree with that as well, is that you only ever boil what you actually need. Don't do a full kettle just if you're only making 1 cup of tea. The final question is this. Sorry, I was going to say, just to underline as well, if you do all of that, apart from saving the country, you might be saving yourself a bob or two as well.